Hello everyone. Today I wanted to go over a very simple question, which is why are our governments in the West developing laws and motions to prevent criticism of Islam? You've seen those, you've noticed that there's no other religion that is specifically called out to be shielded from any form of criticism, yet Islam stands out. And there's a very simple reason why. The simple reason is that the Islamization of our country requires unopposed and people who don't know, ignorance. That's what it requires. The people who won't oppose it are the people who won't really dare to stand up, and the people who won't say anything are the people who don't know anything about Islam. So you require kind of those two categories of people to be in a society for them to take over. And the Islamization of Canada is real. It's a true agenda. Islam thinks it should dominate the world. Actually, it's trying to create a worldwide caliphate, and it's advancing. So Canada is going to be inevitably part of the caliphate according to Islam. So this means they have to introduce laws to prevent us from criticizing it. If we were to understand Islam and have enough people that have the guts to speak out against it, it couldn't advance in Canada. But if not enough people know what it's about and it just keeps advancing here, that this is how the takeover is going to happen. So the goal of this video is to explain that very simple reason of why, and hopefully we can wake up a couple more people so that they can join the ranks of the people who now know what Islam is about. And if you think about it, if Islam was a great religion, if it was great ideology, if it brought peace wherever it went, it wouldn't need a specific law to protect it from criticism. In the West, because we're not under Sharia, which is Islamic law, they need to use our own governments to create laws similar to Sharia. So things like Motion M103 in Canada is a de facto Sharia application of the law. So even though we're not a Sharia state yet, we're not a state that has Islamic law as our main law legal system, they have to, kind of hijack small parts of our legal system and implement Sharia within them until Sharia can be applied, universally. So that is the goal. That's what's happening right now. In the Sharia countries, the Sharia dominated countries, any criticism of Islam gets punished by death. So there is no negotiations about that. You say anything against Islam and you will be put to death. There's even a case of a lady who accidentally sat on a Quran, and I can't remember which country I read that story from. I think it may have been Pakistan, but don't quote me on that. But it was an older lady, and somebody had left a Quran on a couch, and she sat on it. Not even the full Quran, just part of it. And that was enough to be considered criticism of Islam and disrespect of Islam, and they stoned her to death. So this is they're trying to bring here to Canada. They're trying to advance Sharia in Canada, and because they can't come up right out of the gates and say, okay, Sharia is now the new law in Canada, the people working behind this, so people linked to the Muslim Brotherhood, any other Muslim organizations, there's probably links back to Saudi Arabia and Pakistan and all of this, but if you look at that, they can't just replace our law system right off the bat. So they do have to start with small steps. And motions like M103 and different laws that are applied in Western countries are the way that they're doing this. They need to silence us and prevent the criticism of Islam, because if too many Canadians or too many French people or too many Australians find out what the ideology of Islam really is, the true Islam, they will realize very quickly it's incompatible with their value system, incompatible with everything, their economical system, with their political system, incompatible with their views on children, incompatible with their views on marriage. They're going to find out that Islam, the ideology, cannot be dominant in their culture because it just goes against the culture. So this is why they're trying to introduce these laws here in Canada. And then, we have to oppose it. We have to wake up And we have to realize that this is happening, and we have to oppose it. If Islam was such a great religion and such a great ideology, it wouldn't need protection, right? Christianity, pretty good religion, doesn't need protection, can take criticism. Islam cannot stand up to westernized critical thinking and criticism. And this is why they're introducing laws to stop it.